Ford dealers were given the most accurate and revealing information February 16th on the new Bronco, which we now know will be revealed in March, and they feel it will transform their business. We're going to cover the most recent revelations and what the Bronco needs to become a global off-road icon. Now, Ford told dealers at the National Auto Dealers Association meeting that the smaller Bronco Sport will be revealed in April, likely at the New York Auto Show. Ford executives told dealers that they are targeting sales of 200,000 units in 2021 for the family of Broncos. That means that this won't be a one-horse show like the Wrangler launch. Let's also remember that Ford is a global brand. They will incorporate features that will let the Bronco compete against iconic, tough off-road brands like the Toyota, including the FJ Cruiser, and the newly resurrected Land Rover Defender. If you look at some of the renders, which take their design cues from the old Bronco and the spy shots, you can see the resemblance, especially with the Defender. Ford wants this global market share. So let's talk about the kind of features we can expect. We also know that Ford has put a bullseye on Wrangler's spare tire. Ford patents and information from that dealer meeting almost guarantee that the Bronco will have a removable hardtop and doors, and that we'll be able to store the doors in some storage space in the back. Now, this is Bronco heritage, but let's not forget the fold-down windshield. Ford has spent a lot of time with their promos and their dollars getting us to recall the initial Bronco. The fold-down windshield was an original Bronco feature as well, and the current spy shots show a fairly upright, flat windshield, which suggests it could be offered once again. A removable hardtop just begs for a soft top, and Ford has been moving aggressively into the accessory market to help their dealers make some more money. We're looking to see a fastback style soft top as an accessory option. Now, this isn't an expensive option for Ford, but one that virtually every Bronco owner will want. With a removable hardtop, we can also expect to see a weatherproof interior. Ford needs to deliver a Bronco that isn't just good enough to match the Wrangler, it has to be better. We know we're going to get a solid rear axle and an independent front suspension, IFS. Some people argue that it should have a solid front axle, but the new 2020 Defender has IFS. And that seems to be good enough for James Bond. And it was great in the FJ Cruiser. Can you get a great articulation and traction from a solid front axle and more durability? Sure. But a properly built, durable IFS has better handling, gives you a better ride, excellent articulation, and often better ground clearance. And there are plenty of winners at races like King of the Hammers to prove it. Fast desert racing benefits from IFS, and if you want a Bronco Raptor version, it needs IFS. Wrangler has a proven iconic model in the Rubicon. 51 years ago, the Bronco won the 1969 Baja 1000, and the Bronco R was tested in 2019 in the same race, although their results weren't quite what they'd hoped for. Look for a Bronco to appear in the stock or modified stock class in 2021, and expect that a road legal version should be available to us, where that R stands for Raptor. There's also no question that the Bronco will come standard with stuff like steel bumpers, skid plates, and a rear locking differential, just like the Ranger. And we hope to see optional factory installed options like a winch, as we see in the Tremor package. Currently, there is a dealer installed option for the Ranger, which includes a steel bumper and an off-road winch. The winch is a Ford Performance and ARB collaboration. Even more interesting is that we should see a locking front differential similar to ARB's aftermarket kit, which is currently available for the Ford F-150. And if Ford wants to slay any doubts about the Bronco's off-road cred, they'll give us a factory-installed ARB onboard air option. We also expect to see a version of Ford's trail control system similar to the Ranger, F-150 Raptor, and the Tremor package for Ford's heavy-duty trucks. Toyota's 4Runner is another strong competitor in the off-road SUV marketplace, and it has Toyota's version called Crawl Control. Bronco test mules have been spotted with LT 315 70R17 tires, which equates to about 34.5 inches. A nice bump over the Wrangler Rubicon with 285 70R17, which are about 32.5. The larger tires from the factory should give the Bronco better approach, breakover, and departure angles than the four-door Rubicon, which has 41, 22, and 36 degrees respectively, and 10.8 inches of ground clearance. Now, Wrangler gets the Pentastar 3.6-liter V6, kicking out 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Or you can get the 3-liter Eco Diesel at 260 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. Which unfortunately means the Bronco doesn't need the 3.5-liter EcoBoost to be a gas winner in this class. We expect the base model Bronco to come with a 2.3-liter inline-4 EcoBoost at 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, just like in the Ranger. And hopefully, we get the F-150's 2.7-liter V6 at 325 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. The exciting news is that Ford has also been testing a new 2.7-liter V6 gas twin-turbo engine, reportedly destined for the updated Ranger right here in North America, which also makes it a good bet for the Bronco. We don't expect a diesel engine, but another good bet for 2022 is the hybrid 3.3-liter V6 electric found in the hybrid 2020 Ford Explorer and the Police Responder sedan. Wrangler has an affordable option, and so the Bronco has to have an affordable option as well. You can buy a two-door Wrangler Sport starting at under $30,000 US with a 6-speed manual and a 3.6-liter V6. Ford offers the Ranger in a two-door regular cab 4x4 with a 10-speed automatic transmission for under $30 grand as well. The bottom line is, Ford likes to be the value brand, meaning the Bronco in a solid performing base model should start at under $30,000. And don't be surprised if they start at around $28,000. The Wrangler does have some weaknesses, and this is where it gets really interesting. The Wrangler's kryptonite is towing and payload. Stock Wrangler JL has a max tow of 3,500 pounds and 892 pounds max payload, which might not sound too bad. But since every serious Wrangler owner customizes their Wrangler with a minimum of steel bumpers, a winch, and a roof rack, this reduces the payload by roughly 400 pounds. Add a couple of average guys and a full cooler, and that'll put you overweight. Ford expects the Bronco to compete globally, which means it has to not only beat the Wrangler, but vehicles like the new Land Rover Defender. The Defender has a max payload of 1,984 pounds and a max tow of 7,200 pounds. It also has a static roof load of 660 pounds and a dynamic roof load of up to 370 pounds. We don't expect to see static and dynamic roof load numbers in the Bronco equal that of Defender. And that's because the Bronco is going to have that removable top. And I think that's a worthwhile trade. We know Ford loves the numbers game. They want, and in this case need to be, at least close to best in class. We hope the Bronco to come in at over 7,000 pounds max tow and over 1,800 pounds max payload. These numbers are also better than another contender, the Toyota 4Runner, which comes in at 5,000 pounds for max tow. Our hopes for the Bronco in tow and payload are that it delivers what we need to haul a decent trailer, our gear, and our family into the backcountry. It'll be a massive game changer for folks who want a body-on-frame, convertible, off-road capable SUV. The Bronco will be the only choice. There are some features that we don't expect in the Bronco at launch, but that we hope to see in 2021 for the 2022 Broncos. The Land Rover Defender, Ram Rebel, Porsche Cayenne S all have factory air ride suspension systems, providing increased ground clearance when you need it and better fuel economy when you don't. This would be a stellar option for the Bronco. Camera systems for off-road are not new, and we certainly expect the Bronco to have it. But the Defender has a forward-facing camera with an overlay for the tires, so you know exactly how to pick your line. This would be a winning addition to the Bronco as a dedicated off-road vehicle. Expect this to be one of the most complete reveals in Ford's history. To reach sales targets, the Bronco will need to appeal to core off-road enthusiasts for the credibility, but it also needs to appeal to weekend adventurers who are also going to use it as a daily driver. Ford, give us everything we love about the FJ Cruiser, Defender, and Wrangler in a North American made product, and we'll buy it. So hold on to your seatbelts, folks, because the new Ford Bronco could be more than we hoped for and just what we deserve. What options are most important to you for the Ford Bronco? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, share it and smash that like button. And if you want to see more, please subscribe and ring that bell so you're the first to know when a new video is released. Until next time, stay safe and we'll see you on the trails.